The following is a Tony Lasano podcast, an Opie show on the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. This is Free Kicks. Another week, another Free Kicks, another song that is used as walkout music for one of the clubs that is currently in the Premier League. I'm going to tell you the name of the band. The name of the band is the Royal Marines. Okay.
Okay.
And the song is called The Post Horn Gallop.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's that every week.
It's a toe tapper. You ready?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Here we go.
So far. Oh, yeah.
Who's fired up? Let's go get them.
I think I know this one.
Oh, good.
I've heard this one before, and it's kind of related to their history of the hunting portion.
You were on the right track.
Okay, and they are.
What do they hunt? What do they hunt?
They're nicknamed the Foxes. Leicester City.
Very good. That's the first one you've gotten. But yes, that's actually
I
you got Chelsea.
I think I got that last week. Yeah, I got the Chelsea one.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's fair.
But yeah, it's quite cool. But it's kind of tough. When you're there with all the people, it's actually quite a cool one. Actually,
it fits with the environment.
Yes, it's all about context, Rick.
Yes,
context.
That is true. Well, it's also all about free kicks, which is what this show is called.
And now, Free Kicks. Free Kicks with Illinois Youth Soccer Association's Director of Coaching, Adam Howarth, and Rick Kemper.
So if you tuned into last week's show, you heard Adam tout this game of the week, which he was saying was going to be Tottenham versus Manchester United. I had a different view of it. I thought it would probably be more of a nap game. That was my guess, and it turns out it was a 1-0 victory for Tottenham, and it wasn't even as exciting as that sounds.
True.
Am I wrong?
Very, very true. Yeah. I mean, there's 61,000 people at that stadium, and they're all probably thinking, why are we here? What are we watching? Are you watching the two of the worst teams in the league? Yeah, probably.
Well, I got to say, I think Tottenham is not nearly as bad as Manchester United. I mean, I think they're not good, but Manchester United, oh my gosh, they're horrible. They're unwatchable.
That's not good.
Am I wrong?
I mean, it was a tough watch. There's no question about it. I mean, and I think it's one of those situations now the manager's got to rethink. I mean, it's square pegs in round holes, that type of situation. He's trying to play his way with players that are not his, and it's just not working.
And cannot play his system at all.
Exactly. And so it gets worse and worse. I mean, I was looking at the ratings on the BBC website of the players. I mean, out of 10, I mean, their highest ranked player, Harry Maguire, was like a 4.5. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, what's going on here? That's terrible.
Wow. Yeah. And that's the same ranking that Harry Maguire got in the 70s when his career began.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's been around. It's been around is what I'm saying. He's heard that. Actually, he's heard that that song that we started the show with, because he start off at Leicester, or at least he played for Leicester for a while.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, he was a Leicester City player for a few years. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so Manchester United, is it savable? It has to. It's not the coach, totally, obviously. I mean, how many coaches are we going to go through before we realize it's not completely the coach?
Well,
But there is a stubbornness to him that does not seem to be working.
Yes, and it's interesting you say that, because I think that this is the new stubbornness of all the managers. Ange is the same way. That's who we are. That's who we are.
Right.
That's how we play. I'm not going to change. Well, you might want to, because you may not have a job if you don't at least adapt. Same thing with Manchester United. They want to play this way. The managers come in, great ideas, fantastic. Everybody's excited. Not working. I mean, they were more successful with Ruud van Nistelrooy, and he was there for 3 games.
I know. I know.
So I think sometimes it's the Premier League. You've got to figure out how things are, and you've got to be able to understand the players you've got. And teams like Bournemouth and other groups like that, they figured it out. They're the ones that are really good.
Yeah, and there's no such thing as a gimme in this league. I mean, you can't have there's no team that comes into your stadium that you're like, all right, well, we've got this one.
Right.
Because even the worst teams can beat them and are beating them.
Exactly.
All right, so you have no solutions for him, is what you're saying.
They have to adapt. I mean, that's basically it. They're going to have to adapt with the players until he just basically revamps the team, because none of these players are obviously part of this. I think he's playing more of a 3-4-3.
Right. And
it's just not really working. They don't have the players. When you think about you have 3 in the back, you've got to have 3 absolute horses, fantastic athletes whenever you play with 3 in the back. And I just don't think they have those players. So again, it's square pegs, round holes. It's like, what are you doing? You got to make a decision. Maybe you go with 4. That's what you got to do. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's to be decided yet. We'll see how they handle that situation. Let's look up towards the top of the table. And there is a new battle for Europe. I'm going to call it the battle for Europe, because Bournemouth all of a sudden, and really not all of a sudden, they have been in form now for a while. What do you say?
Definitely. They just continue to move forward and keep going and keep going. I mean, Semenyo, Kluivert, Quattara, they're the players. And then obviously the manager has been, Irola, has been fantastic. I mean, talk about doing so much with less.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're doing.
It's the little engine that could.
Exactly right. And I mean, when you think about 2 teams going in different directions, Southampton obviously headed back to the Championship,
right?
Where Bournemouth just soaring, amazing.
They're in 5th now. They passed Chelsea, I think, just on goal differential.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about that blue team. I've been watching them the last 3 weeks.
Yeah. I get you.
I don't want to say I'm getting Manchester United vibes, but it has not. They're not that bad, but they're not good either. True. What's happening?
It's definitely been a struggle. I really don't know. That's a good question. I think it's a lack of maybe some type of confidence. I think the players are not really always understanding exactly where they should be at certain times. The energy sometimes seems to be a little lower.
Yeah.
And again, there was, an injury, went down early, had to sub, but I mean, you've lost to this team twice in a row, 2 weekends in a row now.
Yeah.
One in the FA Cup and one in the league. And it was unfortunately, it wasn't even close.
No, it was not. I watched the whole game.
And that's concerning. And so, so the fans are very frustrated. They're complaining about, obviously, what's the ownership doing, how they're going to try and change some things. Talking about, we've spent all this money and we still don't have a striker. We still don't have a
How many years have they been saying that now?
Yeah, I know, exactly. And the players who were good at the beginning are struggling. Cole Palmer's pretty much non-existent right now.
I was actually watching him, just him, for a while, for about 20 minutes, just watching, and he kind of disappears.
Yeah.
He it looks like there are days that he's just not really showing up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's confidence. I mean, there's no reason I mean, a few weeks, well, maybe a month ago, Chelsea played Brighton and beat them at home 4-2. He scored 4 goals in the first half.
Right, I forgot
in that
about
game.
that. Yeah, that's right.
And now you flipped it. Last 2 weekends, I mean, he scored kind of a deflected goal in the FA Cup last week, but yeah, like you said, was non-existent in the game this past weekend.
Well, that's a bummer for Chelsea fans, but they're still in 6th. They're still in the Euro picture right now.
Still hanging on. I mean, it's there. I mean, it's right there. Couple of wins, and when you look at the table, that's the interesting part about it. When you look at it, there's nobody really wanting it. Newcastle's the same way.
Yeah.
But it's the Fulhams and the Bournemouths that have been probably the most consistent in terms of who's going up, but they were far behind. And so it's these Chelsea's, Newcastle's, and even the Villas that just aren't projecting themselves where they need to be. So,
actually, you mentioned Fulham. That's one of my favorite teams to watch these days.
Yes, absolutely.
They've got a great little club there, and our man Robinson on the outside.
Oh, tremendous, and beat a Nottingham Forest side on the weekend 2-1 in a great game. So fantastic stuff.
And Man City's back up there now. They're in 4th place. I mean, really the people the teams that are passing Chelsea. It's not really a shame. There's not. You're not getting passed by the Wolves or something. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I get it. And Man City players. I mean, they've started to kind of get to another level. Obviously, they've got a big game this next week.
Right. Don't say it.
Exactly, in the Champions League. But ultimately, their new signings are starting to step up. Mr. Omar Mamouche with a hat trick.
Yeah.
So it's not all about Haaland.
It's true. All right, before we move on to another topic, let's check out the bottom of the table relegation update, because we've only got, I think, 13 games to go. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it's a 3-team race right now. Southampton, they're gone. Right, they're out.
Yeah.
I think they've got 9 points or something like that.
That's correct.
And then if you look up in 16th, 17th place, 15th, 16th, West Ham, Manchester United, even though they're both terrible this year, they're pretty safe. They're like 9 points up or something like that. But the teams that are it's going to be 2 of these 3 teams are going to be gone: Leicester City, Ipswich Town, or Wolverhampton. Of those 3, can you handicap this race for us? Because it's going to get heated here in the next few weeks.
Yeah, I think Leicester's down. I think it's between Ipswich and Wolves. Wolves has got Kuna, who just scores goals. He's just fantastic. Absolutely love watching him play. And Ipswich has got Delap, who's very good as well.
Yeah.
I think it's going to boil down to who scores the most goals at the end. Ipswich has the worst goal differential. I'm guessing the 3 that came up are the 3 that go down.
Yeah.
That's what I predict.
We predicted that at the beginning of the season, but really the only team that is in danger of changing that is Wolverhampton. And they looked pretty good against Liverpool last weekend.
Yeah, I mean, they gave it a good try. There's no question. I mean, it wasn't like they were, dead and buried by any means. And like I said, Kuna scored a fantastic goal. I think when you have a play like that, that can kind of keep you up. Yep. And that's the difference.
All right, let's do our weird stat of the week. Last week I gave you the shortest players in the Premier League. Mm-hmm. This week I've gone and checked out the tallest players, excluding goalkeepers, because every goalkeeper is at least 6'5".
Right.
So these are the tallest. We call them outfield players, right? Is that what you say?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I'm okay with that.
All right. See if you can guess if you can name any. I've got the top 5 here.
Wow. Whew.
I'll tell you their teams. All right.
Okay.
One is on Man City. One is on Villa. One is on Brentford. One is on Chelsea. And one is on Newcastle.
Hmm. So I'm thinking for Chelsea, might be Tosin. He's quite tall, if I remember.
It is. He's 6'5".
He's 6'5", so he's a big one.
Yep.
For Man City, don't know who that might be.
Don't overthink it.
Don't overthink. Probably Haaland, right?
Right.
Of course it is.
Yes.
Yeah. How tall is Haaland?
He's 6'4".
Okay, makes sense. And then who else do you say?
Aston Villa, Brentford, and Newcastle.
Aston Villa. Trying to think who they would have as a big guy.
He just got injured. He has played for the national team.
Oh, yeah, Tyrone Mings.
Yep, he's 6'5" also.
Wow, I didn't realize he was that tall. Interesting.
The guy from Brentford, I don't really know him, is Christopher Ajer, Ajer. He's also
Ajer, yeah. Okay.
And then the tallest player in the league, and it has been for a while, is a defender for Newcastle.
Oh, yeah. Has to be Dan Burn.
That's who it is. Dan Burn, very good.
Yeah. How tall is he? 6'6"?
He's 6'7".
Wow.
Yeah.
And he plays as an outside back too.
He does. What's the name of that guy that England had for Crouch, right?
Yes, Peter
Crouch.
Yes. Did the robot dance after he scored the goal?
That's right.
He's got a very popular podcast. It's actually second, right behind our one.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, he does a good job with it. Yeah.
Well, we're not quite as tall, so he's got that on us.
He definitely does.
All right, Free Kicks is brought to you by the Illinois Youth Soccer Association.
Illinois Youth Soccer has been proudly serving the Illinois soccer community since 1975 and has a strong history of non-profit. Is a non-profit corporation, official state association, and charter member of U.S. Soccer Federation, administers U.S. Soccer Federation coaching programs, the Olympic Development Program, and U.S. Soccer Federation referee programs. For more information, go to illinoisyouthsoccer.org. Yeah, the drugs were kicking in there. I kind of had a bit of a shocker.
We're both a little sick, but a lesser man wouldn't be here doing this show. But that's who we are.
That's who we are. That's what we do.
We strap in and we bring it. In fact, you told me you wanted to bring some Chicago news. I have some here.
Yes.
And now, the latest Chicago area soccer news. Soccer news. With Coach Adam.
On the edge of my seat.
All right. Well, it was a great weekend. So I was down in the city of Memphis.
Yeah.
Right. So this past weekend, we took 30 ODP teams.
How was the weather?
Fantastic. Oh, it was awful. Absolutely awful. It was 60 degrees and fine on Saturday, and then dropped to like 30 degrees on Sunday. Had lots of rain, grass fields, amazing. It was definitely some muddy, slushy parts of the field, but we got all the games in. Give the organization. It was Kansas Youth Soccer, even though it was in Tennessee, Kansas. They hosted it down there. Tremendous job scheduling and everything else, but crazy, but really good effort. And then we had games yesterday on Monday too, and then everybody was heading back. But it was interesting. Why I kind of mentioned that is because 4 years ago, I was looking at my pictures and I found a picture of a player who was in that same event. His name is Chase Adams. Chase Adams was an Illinois Youth Soccer ODP player, but he had a heck of a week, Rick. I don't know if you heard about this.
I did.
So last week, he was playing on the under-17 U.S. men's national team. He's currently a professional. He's born in 2008. He's an under-17 on the under-17 national team. They played U.S. Soccer the U.S. Virgin Islands soccer team, and they won 22-0.
Wow.
And Chase had himself a day. He scored 10 goals in that game.
Wow.
So quite impressive. And they ended up winning their next two games by lowly scores of 8-0 and 2-0. And they now qualified for the U17 World Cup. So Chase is going to be going to the World Cup in Qatar in November. That's where it's going to be hosted. And hopefully U.S. with the power, with the strength that they have is quite good. So, but the interesting part about Chase is, obviously with the goals score, he's doing quite a few interviews, was able to see him. He was all over social media. I think he even did an ESPN interview as well. They're calling him, his nickname now is the Young Haaland, because he kind of has that size and looks a little bit like him as well. So we shall see if he lives up to that. That's quite the expectation. But we're really happy at Illinois Youth Soccer that Chase is doing so fantastically well. And we were glad to be maybe just a small part of his journey growing up.
Love it. All right. It's time for another feature.
Time now to guess the Premier League star.
So, so Chase is tall too then, huh?
Yeah, he's probably over 6 foot, maybe 6'1", 6'2", so he's good size. And even when I watched the game, I mean, well, obviously he was always bigger than most of the other kids, but really good on the ball. But, he looks even stronger now. I mean, he's playing on the Columbus Crew second team.
Okay.
So he's playing with men.
Not bad for a 16-year-old.
No, definitely not.
All right, well, I'm going to keep the theme here going for Guess the Premier League Star. We've got another tall lad.
Okay.
23 years old. All right.
Okay.
In fact, I'll tell you how tall he is. He just missed the top 5 in height that I listed out earlier. He was 6th.
Okay, interesting.
All right. He comes from a country known for developing tall lads.
Okay. Dutch, maybe? Dutch?
Oh, very good. Very good. He's played professionally in Germany, Belgium, and Italy before coming to the Premier League. None of those are his home country, which you have now guessed.
Okay.
And he's got 6 caps for his national team. Now, he plays forward and has appeared in every Premier League game this year for his club, except maybe 1 or 2. And yet he has only 3 goals. Now, he doesn't start every game, but he has started it. But he's getting in every game pretty much.
Okay.
He wears number 11. I think he might drive a Chevrolet based on his shirt that he wears.
So he's playing for Manchester United, possibly?
Could be, yes.
Okay. And he hasn't scored many goals, huh?
3.
Really? So, and he's really that tall?
Yeah, he's 6'4". If you listed all the players in the league alphabetically, he would be near the very end of the list.
Yes. That makes a lot of sense. Yes, definitely. And was he playing at Ajax? Was he playing there? Or Feyenoord? I think he was at Feyenoord.
Yeah, yes, Feyenoord, right.
Yes, so
they came up through their system.
Came up through their system, played on the national, now went through all the national teams. So this has to be Joshua Zirkzee from Manchester United.
That's right. In Germany, he played for Bayern in Germany. He came up, I think he moved to Germany and then went up through their system, and he started at the Feyenoord. But he has never played professionally in Holland, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't realize he was that tall. Does he look that tall to you?
No, he doesn't really.
He doesn't. And maybe it's the hair thing, because he's got a lot of hair going on.
Yeah, he's 5'8" without the fro.
Yeah, there you go. 6 inches of hair. I was like, that's why. Yeah, I would never think he was 6'4".
Yeah.
I mean, you think being 6'4", he's got to be a beast there. He's got to be an animal. Got to get in there. Score some goals.
Yeah, but he's not that kind of player, is he? He's more of a finesse player.
When you're 6'4", that doesn't work.
No.
I'm afraid you got to get in there. You got to be like an Erling Haaland.
Let's get in there and coach him.
In there.
They need us. Well, let's go in there and coach him.
I'm just going to go in and sort him out. I'm going to give him a call after this and just say, look,
all right,
get after him. After him.
I'll give Alex Ferguson a call and set up everything so you can get in there and take care of this. All right, it's time for another feature. And I need to press the button.
Now time for Adam's Weekend Soccer TV Tip.
All right, I think I know what you're going to tell us, but let's hear it anyway.
All right. It's got to be that classic Fulham Crystal Palace game that everybody wants to watch. But to be fair, actually, that wouldn't be a bad game.
I'd watch it. I'd watch it.
I mean, there isn't any bad games.
Yeah.
You know, there really isn't. Arsenal West Ham on Saturday's a good one. You know, you've got Villa Chelsea, a good one. But it's all about the big one on Sunday.
Yep.
A surging Manchester City at home at Etihad against the current league leaders and looks like the potential champions, Liverpool. 10:30 Sunday, perfect time for you. You're going to be in good shape there to watch that game.
It's perfect. Yeah.
Exactly right. Couldn't have set it up more better for you. So everybody tune in. Sunday, 10:30, Man City, Liverpool. Should be a good one.
So, you know, here's my theory on Man City. They're obviously not going to win the league this year. They're just too far behind. But they could be that spoiler. They could be the team that goes in and beats these other clubs. Because right now they're playing pretty well, other than the last few minutes of the game.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, realistically, they can get to third. I mean, they're 16 points behind. It's not looking good for them.
Yeah, with 13 games to go.
Yes, exactly. I mean, if Liverpool don't hold on to this. I mean, Arsenal's got a chance.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it's going to mean a miracle for sure. Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, there you go. Free Kicks is brought to you by the Green White Soccer Club. Nearly 70 years of soccer experience. Go to greenwhitesoccer.org. And we have people to thank. We need to thank our executive producer, Tony Lasana with Opie Shows. Thank you, Tony. Also to Ed Silla with the Radio Misfits. Great Talk Radio isn't dead. It just moved to a better place. RadioMisfits.com. And even though we're both sick, we're going to come back again next week, aren't we?
We certainly are.
Yep. That's called dedication, ladies and gentlemen.
It is.
Look it up. We'll be back again next week with another episode of Free Kicks.
The preceding was a presentation of the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. Find our other great shows on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and at RadioMisfits.com. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
This has been a presentation of Opie Productions.
Tony, can you shut up?